Hey friends, I'm back with another lifestyle no edit video for you. And today I am unboxing our Azure Standard order for the month of April. I should say we got it in the month of April, ordered at the end of March. If you're not familiar with Azure Standard, Azure is a co-op. It's family owned and you will place an order once a month and then trucks deliver all across the country. So they are based, I believe, out of Oregon, but we purchase a lot of our bulk food from there and our pantry staples. So I'm going to share with you today what we got this month, which is actually a relatively small-ish order as far as the number of items. But here we go. So if you are new here, first of all, let me take a second to introduce myself. My name is Amanda Willis. I empower families to wellness authentically through biblically rooted principles. And here on this YouTube channel, I love to share a lot of the things that we are using on a regular basis that help us to walk that biblical lifestyle ourselves, a biblical wellness lifestyle, I should say. And so I love to share a lot of my favorite products and then tips and tricks and things that I learn along the way. So today we're talking about Azure Standard. If it weren't for Azure, I think we'd be spending so much more in groceries, because here's the thing, friends. When you buy in bulk, you are not only saving per ounce, usually when you're buying larger amounts, or per pound, depending on what you're purchasing, but you are also hedging yourself against inflation a little bit, because when you buy more than what you need, if you buy something that's going to last you 6 months, well, in 6 months, in the economy we've been in, right, the price is going to have gone up within those 6 months to the year. But if you purchased it 6 months ago, you paid the price from 6 months ago. And so you have that throughout the months, and it's not, though prices are still going up, it's going up at a smaller amount for you at one time. Does that make sense? So you're kind of hedging yourself against inflation. I wouldn't say you're beating it. You're definitely not immune to it. Nobody is, but you're hedging yourself a little bit. So we buy, this month, we have our olive oil. Now, don't be fooled. This was actually a full bottle. I refill a glass bottle that we have with our olive oil that I buy in bulk. So this does not stay on our normal working pantry shelf. This goes downstairs in our bulk pantry, and I pour from it and refill a bottle that we use that's a normal size bottle. I just saved an old one and removed the label. So you save a lot more per ounce. Plus, this is real olive oil, friends. If you are not familiar with the olive oil, shall we say, scandal that's happening and has been for years and years and years now. Just because you are buying extra virgin olive oil does not necessarily mean that all of that oil inside of your bottle is indeed extra virgin olive oil, even if it's labeled organic. If it's labeled organic, that just means that whatever other oils they use to cut with it also have to be organic. But it doesn't mean that they can't cut them with other oils. So frequently the olive oil is cut with cheaper oils like soy or canola. And so what you're getting is not actually extra virgin olive oil. So you want to be really careful of your sourcing. The one from Azure 100% is, and this is the organic extra virgin cold pressed. It's delicious. We love to use this one very frequently. So this is the 1 gallon. Ideally, I'd love to go to even the bigger size. But be sure when you're shopping Azure, check the prices and the price breakdown, because most of the time it is cheaper to go with a larger size when you're looking at cost per ounce and things. However, not always. So sometimes check it. It may sometimes be cheaper to do 2 1 gallons, or I think it comes in like 1 gallon and 3 gallon. I don't remember, but sometimes it's cheaper to do like 3 of the 1 gallons if it comes in a 3 gallon thing than it is to do the 3 gallon. So you want to kind of make sure you're looking at those amounts, and they vary a little bit just based on what's on sale that month and all those things. So we got us olive oil. This was one of my favorite discoveries a few months ago. This is, and this may be flipped for you guys, I don't know, because I'm recording this with the mirror image. I'm not sure if this is coming out mirrored or not for you, but it's the Osawa Namashoyu organic unpasteurized soy sauce. This is real soy sauce, friends. They do make a tamari as well. The tamari is more expensive. And when you are fermenting soy, I don't see a need to go gluten-free unless you're gluten-free. Like if you have celiac, then you need to go gluten-free. But this is organic and it's all fermented properly. So it's going to be easy to digest. The phytic acid's going to be all taken care of, all of those things in the soy sauce. Now, right now, we're building our supply. So sometimes though it is cheaper to do more, sometimes cash flow wise, you don't have that margin. So we got one bottle, but this stuff is delicious. Try it, trust me on that. All right, next up, beeswax candles. Yes, these are little taper candles, but they're 100% beeswax. And I'm just trying to get us stocked up on some candles, friends, because that's been something I've been really lacking on. So this is a pack of 6 of them. I believe you can get them in bigger packs as well. And I think they even had them in smaller packs, like packs of 2. I could be wrong, but pure beeswax candles. And then I have 2 items that are not right here with me. They're both in the freezer. So I bought, let's see, would you like to take a walk with me? Come take a walk with me over to my kitchen, and I'm baking bread and have broth going, so ignore the mess over there. But inside of our freezer, whoops, down on this level, here we go. These I can pull out. The other item is gonna be a little trickier because it's in our deep freeze, so I'll just tell you about that one. And it's big and heavy. There we go. All right. Flip it around. Broccoli. Okay, so I got 3 bags of frozen broccoli. Organically grown, of course. Nice and fresh. We're kind of in that end of season thing. Like, we love to eat seasonally in our home. We have a garden. Prayerfully, it does a lot better this year. We've been working on building a garden on some soil on our property that had been neglected before we purchased it. So really working on building up that soil to get a good harvest. But in the meantime, even if you get that, a lot of times there's there's that window from like April, depending where you live. Now, where you live, you may be starting to get some early harvest of things like broccoli and cauliflower. Here in Wyoming, not so much. Like, we're still, our average last frost date is not until the middle of May. So in fact, though it's beautiful today and the next few days, I think it's supposed to be like 19 next week at night. So you can't put crops out yet, right? And we have some things canned, but not everything. And sometimes you just want like fresh broccoli. So I like the frozen stuff because it's frozen right after harvest and it's ready. So I got 3 bags of that for our freezer so that we had some veggies on hand that were at least picked in season and prepared. Eventually, maybe we'll have our own. That would be fantastic. But you work with what you have, right? Okay, then the other thing, I'm not gonna go pull it out of the freezer because the other thing is a 40-pound bag. I believe it's 40 pounds. I'm 99.9% sure it's 40 pounds of chicken feed. So we buy the Scratch and Peck brand, which is organic, non-GMO. It's soy-free and corn-free. And we've got the layer mash because our chickens are laying. So they love it. There's grains in there, but there's also a lot of grubs in there and things like that. I think black soldier fly larvae and stuff like that are in there. So really good, really nourishing. Would I ideally love to do our own feed? Yes. Our backyard's not quite big enough for them to 100% free range, but they do free range regularly and they enjoy that. But they love their supplemental feed as well. I have not yet tried fermenting it. So if anybody's watching this and you use the Scratch and Peck mash feed, let me know. Have you tried fermenting it? That's my timer for my bread. Have you tried fermenting it? And if so, what were your results? I would like to try that here soon because fermenting the feed, just like fermenting your other grains that you eat as a human, breaks down the phytic acid, makes them more digestible, unlocks a bunch of enzymes for them too, which means overall, their chickens are getting more nourished, just like you are when you ferment grains yourself, and therefore you need less of them. So they need less feed, which means that saves you money. So anyway, we have a big bag. I'm working on getting at least several bags put up for that. It feeds our chickens. We have 7 chickens, and it feeds them usually for about 6 weeks. 1 bag is what we go through at our pace. They are heritage breed chickens. They're not straight egg layers. They're dual purpose birds. So that might make a difference depending on what birds you have, but that's what we do. And I just keep them in our deep freezer. And then when we're ready to use them, pull it out of the deep freeze for at least 24 hours. So it comes, this is if you're freezing any grain, which you want to store grain frozen and not in, sorry, I put my foot up on the chair and now it's awkward. You want to store it frozen and not room temperature, especially as you get to warmer temps, because all grain have insect larvae in them, especially grains that have insect larvae in them, right? So you want to freeze those to kill any of that for several days. So we used to do that. Actually, we still do it with our greens. We just haven't bought greens in a while, needed to, in bulk for our own stuff. We let it come to full room temperature for at least 24 hours. And then after that, because that way it's thawed, there's no moisture left in there. That's all kind of taken care of itself before you open the bag. Okay, then you open the bag, and then normally we store it in 5-gallon buckets, both the chicken feed and our other grain for ourselves. So then it's in a 5-gallon bucket with a Gamma Seal lid on it. Makes it super easy to then feed. I also like to mix in a little diatomaceous earth into our feed for the chickens, just because diatomaceous earth can be very helpful for any internal bugs and things for the chickens and just help promote health. So I like to mix a little bit of that in when I'm dumping it into the 5-gallon buckets. But that was our order for this month. Next month we'll have completely different things, maybe some more chicken feed though. And yeah, if you have any questions, drop them down in the comments. Until next time, take care, friends. Cheers.